realtor who has made over $100,000 GCI in 2024 and definitely has already surpassed that in 2025. Today is August 13th. And I am just getting back into the swing of things. Full transparency. I have 2 amazing children and a loving husband. And we just got back from vacation and I'm just got children back into school. So I'm basically struggling and fighting. And I only say this to let you know I'm a human, that like life is life. I'm readjusting the schedule. I'm getting back into the grind and I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to ease back into my routine. So I'm going to take it easy today. We have a fantastic group of realtors who are making calls. They're getting leads, they're getting listings, they're getting closings. Fantastic. And you can always feel free to connect with the other realtors that are in our Facebook group. That description is down in the description. Excuse me, did I even say that? I'm kind of tired. The link to the Facebook group is in the description if you want to join. It had to do with, do I call around my listings and do I call around just sold? Something to that effect. And no, I call everyone. I'm calling my whole city. So hence that's how I'm able to have an abundant mindset as well as have a higher volume of contacts. Because I have called limited lists before, whether it's FSBOs, expireds, downsizers, absentee, probate. I never did divorce. But I figured, you know what, instead of limiting myself and just focusing on that and only having a few thousand, how about I have 100,000? So hence why I like doing neighborhood search. And I literally call neighborhood by neighborhood in my entire city. So mentally struggling to get back into the game and the habit and the routine of it all. And I say that just so you know, if you're struggling too, don't feel bad. It's normal. So let's see. I'm just about to dial in. So sorry. Okay, back to Carlos's the story. So he's like, you mean to tell me you give people's numbers and you just call them and ask them if they're planning on selling the house? And I confidently was like, absolutely. And he was like, but tell me how many people. He was like, well, how many people? He started asking me, how many people, blah, 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 something about numbers. And at the time I had just looked at my numbers and I said, well, one out of every 15 people that I talk to say yes. And then I just kind of shut him up. And I was like, you have a great day, sir. It is August. So we still have August, September, October, November, December, 5 months still to go. So I am just like,
Meredith, sorry I missed your call.
I need to, just like I need to zero in enough with a rest. I've rested enough. I need to get back in the swing of things. Brits are mad. I'm coaching people and they love the fact that I send them a video message every day. Once you break the ice, it's easy. I like that for sure. That's actually why I also love, well, I don't know if it's for my leads, I send them my YouTube channel, which actually makes it much easier to break the ice because it is video. But video messaging, guys, like everyone, listen to Carlos, like if you can do video messaging, period, somehow incorporate that into your business, I would highly recommend, because when you do end up meeting them in person or as you are following up and having conversations, it's way easier and they almost feel like they know you because they've seen your face, they've seen your expressions, they've heard your voice, even when you're not even talking to them. I'm literally coming to your stream after a month. Oh my gosh, no, it's fine. I mean, listen, we all have lives, right? I can't expect all of you to be here at the same time. And Grant Cardone taught me a lot. You know what? I don't listen to Grant Cardone. I'm telling you, these people are so nice. It's insane. Grant Cardone, yes. So that's awesome. I didn't even know he did that stuff. I've seen his stuff here and there, but I've never really grabbed onto stuff. Layla, same here. Kids got back to school. Now I have to focus to make calls today. I called for an hour and 10 minutes, got 1.5 leads. Ooh, I love that. Awesome. Congratulations. Wait a minute. I got to get used to this too. Woo! Layla got a lead.
To an automatic voice message system 319.
Oh, awesome. Good job. Love it. When you're starting out, just start little by little, Layla, like just what you're doing, just do an hour. Like if you're really nervous and you can't, like just being on the dialer is super stressful.
To an automatic voice message system.
Like, just do 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. Like, it's literally like building a muscle and building up stamina when it comes to cold call. Even if, for example, like an hour is torture, tone it down, bring it 45 minutes, do 45 minutes. And then when you get super comfortable with 45 minutes, then bring it back to an hour. I've had to do that. But good job. An hour is awesome. And if you can do that consistently, an hour, then you'll start feeling like, oh, an hour is nothing. Like, I could totally do an hour, like eating breakfast or something, like doing my hair, doing my makeup. I could totally do an hour. Once you get to that feeling, then you can bump it up. Matt said, got a listing appointment in 2 hours from Circle Dialing a few months ago. Oh my God, so much excitement. I can't. That was way too expensive. I clicked on Zillow. That was a $20 million house. I just couldn't. Nope. I'm good. I noticed you said listing appointment. So I'm assuming it's like for sure to discuss like listing their home. Usually for myself, I end up doing like a meet and greet. But it's not, but I don't have to tell you, even though this is your first year in real estate, Matt, you're kicking butt. You're so confident. Matt, I feel like I should probably memorize BM listing presentation script, but I'm not sure it really fits my style. Never fit my style and never really worked for myself. I'm not saying that it doesn't.
Been forwarded to an automated voice message.
But I would definitely say, Matt, you're pretty confident in what you do. When it comes to Circle Prospect, when it comes to Circle Prospect, you don't necessarily need a whole listing presentation because people do business when they know, like, and trust you. So knowing you and liking you and trust, a lot of that just ends up happening before you even end up meeting with them because you followed up with them for such a long period of time that a lot of the times when I go on those appointments, I just go with facts. I print out their tax records. I see if they have any open permits with the county, which most realtors don't even do that. I pull up the comps and I print out seller net sheets. Other than that, like, I don't really, and I guess for a listing appointment, I'll bring the listing paperwork and I just let them talk. Like, the moment I think it's appropriate for me to pull out paperwork,
Forwarded to an automated.
then I'll pull out paperwork. And at the same time, I don't even like sit at the table. A lot of the times I end up sitting on a couch.
Has been forwarded to an
which makes it feel more family-like. Or we just like walk around. I'm just trying to think of what I can say to help you to like for a listing presentation. Yeah, we just kind of talk about like, okay, when do you think, I don't know, it's a natural progression of then all of a sudden, like, when are you looking to get it on the market? They're like, I don't know, you tell me. I'm like, well, what is it you want to do and complete before we do? Like, and then they say, well, what should I do? I'm like, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? Then they're like, okay, give me a week. I'm like, cool, if we do it in a week, I'll get the photographer. No, then I'm already like scheduling and then we're already talking about when we're going to list the property. So I would just go into those as far as like assumptions, like just then it's a natural progression. And then sometimes you're like, oh, I'm not your realtor. And sometimes I've had to like walk away from listings. I'm like, I wish I could help you. I really don't think I'm the right fit. It's a great position to be in. Chimichurri, what do you do when you have a lead that seems warm to move forward? What do you do when you have a lead that seems warm to move forward and tells me to set an appointment this week, but then stops responding? Is that an expired or a FSBO lead? Because that's the vibe I get. Can you let me know what lead source that was, Chimichurri? Because that definitely doesn't happen on a Circle Prospect type of lead.
Forwarded to voicemail.
Usually Circle Prospects are inviting you over. But if it's a FSBOs expired, I don't know, because I was never good at that. I did get listings from it, but it was like pulling teeth and it was a lot of labor, way more calls, way more conversations. Whereas Circle Prospecting is really me just building my own pipeline and like qualifying the leads rather than them being, what do they call it? Low-hanging fruit. I'm like planting the seeds instead of just like picking what's ripe. Because then it's like,
has been forwarded.
Because then it's like every farmer is trying to reach for that one peach or whatever. But yeah, let me know what kind of lead source that was, because it's giving me expired FSBO vibe. Ram, no, but genuinely, I was missing you stream a lot, honestly. Was a little depressed. So yeah. Oh, I know, I feel you. You know, like I know Myron Golden, who I love watching, he's on vacation.
Been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is...
He went on vacation, and then like a few other people I know went on vacation, and I think it was like Think Media. Not that I watch him a lot, but he was like, the whole staff is taking a month off, like no new content. So I'm back to work. But not it's better, honestly, was having anxiety attacks and all. No, I'm here. You can always watch my replays too. The doctor said that it was due to overthinking and stress. So yeah, don't do that to yourself. I would say a good solution to that is what
been forwarded to voicemail. The person...
who was it I was watching? It may have been Brian Tracy, who was like, when you're having a moment, he's like, just lay down, put your hand on your heart. Put your hand on your heart, and he's like, and be still for 30 minutes, like in a quiet room. That actually helps me with anxiety. Boo, don't run from that $20 million listing. I know, it's so crazy. I feel so comfortable when it's like less than 5 million. I'm like, oh, I got it. Like I'm good. I got this. But once it's like 9, 10, 15, 20, and like, hide. Jimmy, Churi, Papi is Franco. It was a cold call from expired. Yes, I thought so. That's typically an expired FSBO move, and I hate it. I'll give you
Call has been forwarded to voicemail.
I will give you a few quick tips for expireds. Let me just make sure there's nothing in here, but she had another property she wanted to sell first. Okay. All right. Okay. We got some stuff I can cover, which I've covered in some of my other lives, but it's been a while since somebody asked about expireds, because realistically, I primarily circle prospect, meaning I call everyone. I've done the FSBOs, I've done the expireds, I've done that. So it was an expired, but she had another property she wanted to sell. First month cold calling. Okay, so you're definitely jumping in to cold calling. Awesome. Kudos to you. Cold calling is hard. I started my cold calling journey January, February of 2022. I've been consistently, and I emphasize the word consistently because that will make a huge difference in your business. I've been consistently cold calling since September 2023. Ricky?
Please leave your message.
But I actually started circle prospecting November 2023. And since then, so 2024, I did $101,230 GCI. And then this year for 2025, I've definitely surpassed and I've definitely doubled it already. And it's August. And my goal is 300, but I'm pushing for 4. So I say this because when I was doing FSBO, expired, canceled, probate, downsizers, whatever, you know how you get like a little list? And let's say, for example, I bought a list of 3,000 absentee owners one time. Okay, so let me just wrap this up because I'm gonna. So I got a list of 3,000 absentees. I paid $700, and because I wasn't making that much money, $700 to buy 3,000 leads gave me the whole scarcity mindset. So then I called that list and I got some leads, but then I didn't want to be chucking out $700 every single time. And so then I started having this whole scarcity mindset of like, I need to contact every single person on this 3,000 person list. And then I remember talking to another realtor who's cold calling, and they're like, you do realize the people that you're cold calling at this point in time are just people who don't actually answer. So then I started freaking out, like, well, how the hell am I supposed to get to my 20, 30 contacts a day, new contacts a day, if nobody's answering their phone? That happens with FSBOs, that happens with expireds, whether you're driving to their door, dropping a letter in the mail, texting them, calling them. Naturally, contact rates tend to be lower for those groups. And even if you're cold calling targeted lists like just sold, just listed, pending, whatever, because this is my belief and this is my experience, but the moment you put yourself in a box as far as limitation of how many people you can speak to or contact, it's already going to be difficult for you to grow and expand. So hence I call everyone. When I realized if I can call everyone and end up having 20 conversations with new people, new actual homeowners, you never know who you're going to bump into. And when I started making those calls, my experience was I was bumping into FSBOs, I was tripping over expireds, I was running into canceled, I was finding absentee owners, I was bumping into divorcees, I was finding pre-foreclosure. So I was actually getting to a lot of them and just everyone naturally. And that's when I was like, why am I limiting myself when I can just talk to everyone? So I'm sorry that happened with expireds. That's also why I just stopped calling expireds. And I was like, screw this. I'm just going to talk to everyone. So I call everyone and I circle prospect, and it has blown up my business. And I'm finally in an abundance mindset. So it's been fantastic. I mean, like, I'm having the greatest year of my real estate career. Okay, back to the dialer. I'm so sorry if that went on a tangent. I hope that was helpful. I don't have an answer. Oh, wait, what am I talking about? I was going to give you a tip on expireds. Okay. This is what I started doing. And this was the only way I ever got expireds. I set myself up on my MLS to email myself when an expired or cancel became available. I wasn't paying for FSBOs. I wasn't paying for expireds. So once I get an email, I would manually look up. There's so many services that you can look up. Gosh, my mind just went blank. But there's so many ways you can find people's phone numbers. Heck, you can even Google them and find them on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter or whatever, X, and just DM them. Or even go knock on their door before they get the calls the next morning. So just to give you an idea, all the service providers, whether it's like Sync, Boomtown, Mojo, Vulcan, Enzo, anyone who you can buy expireds, canceled, FSBO from, they process their data the night of. So if an expired comes out today at 7 p.m., they process their information and get it into the systems for realtors by 6 a.m. the next morning, the latest. So then realtors can call them the next day. So if you can get them the day of, not the next morning, the day of, you'll have a higher likelihood of getting expireds. That was the only way I did it. And usually those expireds, canceled, I was meeting with them at 8, 9 in the morning to get the paperwork signed. Meanwhile, everyone was barely getting to their phone to start calling them. Hope that was helpful. If you didn't catch that, rewind, watch the replay, go to your MLS, set yourself up on automated emails, just like as if you were to send new houses to buyers. John, forget low fruit. I want James.
Please leave your message for no.
That's so funny. Forget low fruit. I want the big hanging fruit. Well, it depends. Do you want to fight 10,000? Well, actually, in my market, there's 80,000 agents. So do you want that one big hanging fruit?
The voicemail.
Fighting with, let's just call it 50,000 other realtors. I'm okay. I'll just take like 1,000. That's so funny. Low fruit. Yeah, I would just rather plant the seeds and watch my farm grow. Time for me to get back to work. Okay, bye. Bye. I stumbled upon your journey a month ago. Oh, love it. It's very refreshing to see you in the weeds. Yes, thank you. This is really behind the scenes. Like, I'm just working. Like, this is hard. This is boring. It's lonely. It's very lonely. Like, if you're doing this by yourself, it sucks.
You reach had a voicemail box that has not been.
I'm just starting out, dual career at the moment, and plan to make Circle my main. Love it. Oh my God. If you have a job right now, like, do Circle. Robert?
The message.
Do Circle. Just like, oh my gosh, I'm so already excited and passionate over your comment. There's so many people in this group community who do have full-time jobs and part-time jobs. I get it. I have a family. I have mouths to feed. I have to keep this roof over my head and make sure the roof isn't leaking. But if you can just do even 30 minutes during your lunch, an hour before work, if you happen to work later in the day, if you happen to work a 9 to 5, call from 5:30 to 6:30. Like, my prime time is like 4 to 6. People are answering. I've even called late at 6:37. Robert?
Please leave your message.
6:37 is the latest I've even called. Heck, even on a Friday, I was calling till 8 at night. But weekends, if you just want to call all day Saturday for 8 hours, so if you did like 8 hours on a Sunday for 4 days, that's 32 hours doing your calls. I mean, listen, sacrifices have to be made. And I will say my sacrifices that I've made for my family has been vocalized with my family members, including my children. We have sat them down like, mommy's got to work a lot. Mommy's going to work on Saturdays. But mommy works.
No one is available right now. Please leave a message.
But I also, we tell them like, listen, mom's got to work a lot so we can put food on the table, keep the roof over our head. More importantly, for the flexibility where I can pick them up from school if I need to, the flexibility of dropping them off at school, the flexibility of going to school events, the flexibility of like, let's face it, Saturday they're watching like TV, they're hanging out, whatever. And then all of a sudden by noon, they're like ready to go. So I love calling 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Saturdays because we're not really doing anything anyways, unless it's like sports. So you could totally circle, build your pipeline. And the most beautiful part is that the people you circle prospect aren't in a rush and aren't like, meet with me tonight, meet with me tomorrow. Instead, you could be like, well, I'm kind of busy booked this week. I can meet you at this time on Thursday. Or the beautiful part is you have flexibility on when you actually meet with them. So I have people who wait for me like a week. Like I was on vacation. I told them I will be back in 10 days. He's like, no rush. Let's meet when you get back. Especially if you're trying to transition and you're like having your full-time job and part-time job and you're wanting to transition to real estate, circle prospecting is the absolute best because then you're like, oh my God, I made $100,000 in real estate. You know, I'm going to leave my job. Like, this is amazing. Because then you're just stacking.
Thank you for calling.
Stacking, racking, more importantly, you're experiencing that compound effect. So if you can start laying down the foundation, that's beautiful. Ram, but no problem. I know I'll be like you one day, as you are my biggest aspiration. Oh my God, you got two.
Hello, you reached the voicemail.
You're too cute, Ram. You're now you're just gonna make me blush. Oh my gosh, there's so many comments in here. I gotta catch up. Chimichurri, I use MLS for expireds canceled. I Mac for owner, and then just look at the number on Spaghetti. Beautiful. Yes, perfect. You have a much better opportunity at getting some of those. And you know what? I remember some person, it was like a realtor. I think that was out of Arizona. And she said that she would call expireds and canceled. And she would legit out of the gate just go, hey, I'm a realtor. Are you by chance interviewing for the position to get your home sold? I was like, damn, that's ballsy. I like that. I've never used it. But it also is like just to the point, like, are you planning on relisting? And if they say yes, then just like try and get them like locked in ASAP before everybody else calls them the next morning. Okay, so it looks like I need to clean this up really fast. I have 12 minutes remaining. Bear with me. I'm gonna get to your guys' comments.
Please leave your message for.
Hi, my name is Ram. You don't know me. You're probably gonna hate me if you're a realtor. You're already practicing, Ram. I like it. Marianne, hi. How are you? You made it to the live. Awesome. How do you choose which numbers to call? Do you pick neighborhoods or Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm glad you showed up because I was actually answering your question earlier and I was like, I got to go back to that email. Somebody asked me a question. So yes. Okay. How do you choose which numbers to call? So I call everyone in my city. I'm in Fort Lauderdale. We're a very dense city. We have 100,000 population and almost like doubles when snowbirds arrive. So I actually like to keep my data organized by neighborhood. The reason I do that, and some people call it subdivision or just like a geographical area, like depending if you're like in a remote section, sometimes people like doing gated communities, but then I think that's a little bit too small. So for example, my neighborhood, there's 1,200 homeowners in my neighborhood. And most neighborhoods are between 800 to about 1,000. But then if I call where the condos are along the beach, it could easily be 3,000. So I like to keep them all organized by neighborhood. And the reason being is because they will call me out. They will be like, Do you know where you're even calling? Like, where do you live? Oh, yeah. Say like, oh gosh, what do they say? Do you know where you're calling? Do you even, oh, I've had people say like, do you even know what neighborhood you're calling? I'm like, yeah, I'm calling blah, blah. And then they're like, oh. So it doesn't give that a feeling of I'm just calling a list of 100,000 people and I have
Return your calls.
no idea. And it has helped because if I know I'm calling specific neighborhoods, hence neighborhood search through Mojo, I just hung up on her. I'm like, how many times do I have to go, hello? Susan? Hello? Like, I just can't, throws me off. How do you choose which numbers to call? So yeah, I just call everyone. So like on your on the neighborhood search in Mojo. And by the way, I recorded. Okay, I'll just tell you guys now. I recorded a video for you guys. I'll put it on my YouTube channel because I've gotten this question of like, how do I set up my Mojo? What is it you do? How do you do it? So I actually recorded myself doing a step-by-step how to set up if you want to use Mojo and do their neighborhood search feature and how to keep it organized. I just need to like edit it. So it won't be available until like tomorrow or Thursday. So if you're watching the replay, it's in the future. Just go ahead and on the channel, search up Mojo Dialer or look at the playlist. I don't know what I'll have then, but I'm doing it because you guys are asking me, and this is a perfect example. So it's through neighborhoods. And the nice thing about it too is when I know I'm talking about a neighborhood, I can talk to the homeowner about what's going on in their neighborhood. So I am a little bit more relatable. And it's super helpful if you just talk to people who live in your city because you know what's going on in your backyard. Do you pick neighborhoods or counties? That kind of answered it. There are people, though, Marianne, in this group who do the neighborhood search, but because there's not enough people in their neighborhoods, they're actually doing counties where they only have like 3,000 people in their county. I'm like, whoa. So if you need to do counties because you don't have that many and you guys are living in like, widespread, everyone has like 20 acres each, then you're probably going to do counties. Around your listings and others, no, I do not do any of that. I just call the city. I hope that was helpful. If not, let me know if you have further question. Yeah, a lot of the times they don't answer the phone. So this one for me was a bit of luck. Totally get it. Been there. I can relate. Absolutely. The other thing that I've done is like, they don't answer. Then I text them. I send them my YouTube video, my channel, my actual, not this one, the consumer facing one for buyers and sellers, which is also how I get buyers to my listings. So I send them that. And then I used to send handwritten note cards to them, but nobody ever responded. Okay, where are we at? Yeah, a lot of times. Okay, yes. Yeah. And that's actually, so the fact that you said it's a bit of luck, I totally understand because whenever I did FSBO,
has been forwarded to voicemail.
whenever I did FSBOs or expireds, I legit, Franco, got in my entire career 3 FSBOs and 4 expireds. I'm like, that is 7 deals. And that was like over a course of 2 years. Like, that's not good. That was terrible. That was awful. That was like 2022 and then 2023. I was like, I cannot support my family on this. So I was like, I got to figure out. Literally, circle prospecting saved my real estate career. It was my last Hail Mary. And I was like, if circle prospecting does not change my life, bring in the income that I need, I'm going to have to go get a 9-to-5 job. And that was a very difficult conversation to have with even my children. So this is today's results. An hour 35, because I did call earlier with my inner circle. And then 163 calls, 19 conversations, and 0 leads. And I'm okay with that because as long as I show up consistently, results will happen. The last 7 days, I just got back into it last week. So really, I'm barely at 41 conversations. Make sure to watch the replay if you just joined. Let me know if you have any questions, any comments. I will see you later. Last Hail Mary, seriously, like no joke. No joke. And thank God I did 101,000 GCI in 2024 and more than doubled it this year already. So I'm pushing for 3. Well, no, I'm aiming for 3, but I'm pushing harder for 4. 400,000. I'm going to put that out in the universe. 400,000 GCI by the end of this year. We'll see. I'm pushing. I'll see you guys later. Gotta go. Bye, guys.